What's going on, guys? It's the Reef Kid 25 here, and this is my ChemiClean review. Now, ChemiClean is a chemical that is used to remove cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae or red slime algae. It's a very effective method. It's a method used in a lot of tanks. It's reef safe, it's fish safe, with the proper precautions. Now, what cyanobacteria is, the cyanobacteria isn't actually an algae. It's a bacteria. And so when you have cyanobacteria, you actually have a infection in your aquarium. And this ChemiClean is essentially the antibiotics to cure the infection. Now, ChemiClean, it does, however, have an effect on the oxygen levels. It has a chemical reaction with the oxygen in the water, which will cause the oxygen to basically be released from the water. So you want to make sure you oxygenate, or, add air to the aquarium. I don't even know if oxygenate, is that a word? I don't know. Anyways, so I have a little simple, cheap little air pump with a couple air stones. I just tossed it in my aquarium. I didn't really care about, setting it up to look nice just because this is only going to be in here for a couple of days. The recommended duration for ChemiClean is 48 hours. Now, I'm going to run mine for 72 hours. My corals and my fish, my shrimps, everything is having a very good reaction to it. There's no negative reactions to the ChemiClean so far, and that's one thing you want to keep an eye out for when using ChemiClean, is to make sure you're not getting any negative reactions from your corals, your fish, your shrimps. If you are getting negative reactions, you'll want to get some carbon in your tank and do a water change as soon as possible so you don't have any losses in any of your livestock. Now, all of my tanks, my Zoas are doing great, my Duncan's doing fine, my star polyps are all opened up and doing good. The only one that seems a little annoyed, but not bad enough to, for an emergency removal of this chemical, is my mushroom leather coral back there. He seems to have been closed up a little bit more than usual. That could be from the chemical. That could also just be from the cyanobacteria annoying it and keeping them closed up. Whether or not that's the case, my tank is all in all doing very well, handling this chemical just fine. Now, this is my third day dosing this chemical, and I'll show you how to dose it as well. It recommends that you do it for 48 hours. I'm doing mine for 72, just to make sure that I rid of all of the cyanobacteria. And like I said, if my corals and my fish weren't doing as well as they are, I probably wouldn't continue to dose any further than 48 hours. But since they are doing just fine, I'm going to dose an extra day. Now, you can extend that even beyond 72 hours. I could say you could dose up to 5 days. I wouldn't go any further than that. But you just want to make sure, you want to check it on your aquarium every day to make sure that your livestock, your fish, your corals, your shrimps, your crabs, cleaner crew are all reacting well to it. And as long as everyone's happy and everyone's healthy, then you can continue to dose until you feel that the cyanobacteria has been effectively eradicated. Now, one of the signs you know that it's working is, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it from there, but as you can see down here, it's still pretty purple looking, or red. So that hasn't quite started to die off yet. But up top, all of the bright red cyanobacteria that was there is all starting to turn brown. It's also starting to tear. Now, if you're dealing with cyanobacteria right now, you know that it will kind of form, just like they say, like a slime coat over everything, but it will be solid. There won't be holes or gaps in it. And that's another sign that the chemicals are working, is that it will start to break apart. The slime will start to develop a lot of holes and bubbles and stuff, and that's another sign that it's working. Basically, it's the cyanobacteria is losing its strength, and it can't stay together like it used to be able to, especially in areas of high flow. So I'm going to go ahead and dose my third dose. This is going to be my final dose because, for the most part, all of the cyanobacteria is gone. So how you dose this is you just get a little cup glass. You get a scoop of water from the tank, however much, it doesn't really matter. And then so we're going to go ahead and open this up. So you're going to want to open it up, pull out the ChemiClean. and it comes with this little scoop here. So it says to do 1 level scoop. Now, if your tank is handling it fine and all your livestock is handling it fine within the aquarium, you can do a little bit larger. So I've been doing like heaping scoops, and here I'll show you. Kind of like that. Like it's a little more than a level scoop. And I do that just to make sure that I'm dosing enough to make sure that I effectively eradicate the ChemiClean. Now, if your tank looks like it's having a little bit of a negative reaction, then you're going to want to make sure you stick to the recommended dose. So since my tank is 30 gallons, I'm going to do 3 scoops. 1 level scoop for every 10 gallons is the recommended dosage. And as you can see, the powder is just kind of floating on top of the glass here. So you just want to stir it in, and it will actually start to dissolve into the water. As you can see, it's kind of floating on top, but it will. And it kind of does stink. It has a little stank to it. So, and that's totally normal. And most of it's dissolved in, so I'm going to go ahead and dump it. So you just kind of want to just pour it throughout your aquarium like that. Give your glass a good rinse. And that is how you dose your cyanobacteria. Very simple, very easy to use. Again, make sure that you're running, oop, I squished my airline there, I'll fix that in a minute. But make sure you're running air, remove all carbon, turn off any like reactors, chemical reactors you have, turn off your UV sterilizer, and make sure to, you can keep your protein skimmer running, that's fine, you can also turn it off if you want. I would recommend keeping it running just for the extra oxygen getting put into the water. Another thing while you're dosing is don't do any water changes while you're dosing, but once you've finished dosing the following day, do a 20% water change, and that should be effective for eradication of red slime or cyanobacteria. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Reef Kid 25. I'll see you later.